Yo, just want to talk about ROH. I've seen a lot of videos on the subject recently, and I just thought I'd chuck my two pennies worth in. I'll touch briefly on the pay-per-view this Sunday, the 10th anniversary show, in a little bit. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. If you get bored, just click off it and go and watch Louis Theroux or something, because that guy's a fucking legend. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of people down on ROH, I think, at the moment, watching the various videos on YouTube, but I think they're in a lot better place than they were, say, the last half of last year, up through till Final Battle. I think they're in a lot healthier state going forward now than they were then. I think Davey Richards as champion has not worked. I'll just come out and say that straight away. I think ROH in general have done an absolute piss poor job of promoting their champion and of giving the world champion any kind of personality. Since I think the last great ROH champion was Nigel McGuinness, and since then, I don't think there's been an outstanding world champion. Obviously, there's been, but it's weird because I like all of the guys that have been world champion, but I just don't think that they've excelled as world champion. I think the chase, it's all about the chase in ROH is how it seems to me. I mean, obviously Austin Aries, Tyler Black, Roderick Strong, especially Roderick Strong and Davey Richards, the last two champions. Obviously, Davey Richards' build-up was over a year, and then when he didn't win at Final Battle in 2010, that was a big reason for me having a break from ROH, actually. It was. After watching that pay-per-view, I was just deflated and confused about where they were going, and who in the right mind wouldn't make Davey Richards world champion at Final Battle 2010. I just couldn't believe it when they didn't pull the trigger there. But it seems to me they build these guys up chasing the belt, and then when it comes to them winning the belt, they finally get it, and it's like not pulling the rug from under them, but they just don't know what to do. Davey Richards has shown no personality. He needs to be, well, first of all, he needs to be a heel, without a doubt. I think as a babyface, it's borders on cringeworthy at times, to be honest. He definitely needs to be a kick-ass heel, without a doubt. Hang on a sec. Just grab some Sprite. Yeah, he needs to be a heel without a shadow of a doubt. Where his badass personality can shine through a lot more, and he can just let loose a bit, because he's a cookie cutter heel just ain't what he is. It just doesn't work at all. And the same was for Roderick Strong. The build up was strong. He's sort of been in contention for a while before he won it, and then when he won it, we had all the fucking turning it like the heel run with Truth Martini that's still going on. I just hated that. But Roderick Strong should never be a cowardly heel, never. He's too dominant a wrestler. He's too strong a wrestler. He's one of the strongest men in the company, if not the strongest. Well, maybe Michael Elgin, but I just think they need. I've said this in a couple of comments on other people's videos, that it reminds me very much of WWE in like 07, 08, even 09, where we had Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H, on Raw anyway, and they used to sort of have matches consisting of Randy Orton against Triple H or Randy Orton against John Cena, vice versa, in different combinations, couple of added stipulations, but always the same guys just rotated from show to show, and it just got to the point where you think, I can't fucking watch this anymore. And I think that's where ROH were. I think things do look a lot brighter on the horizon, but they need to really avoid having that stigma of just having the same 3 or 4 guys at the top, like i.e. Davey Richards, Roderick Strong, I'm trying to think, Davey Richards, Roderick Strong, Eddie Edwards, that's the guy I'm thinking of, Eddie Edwards. They need to inject some new blood in there, and I think my 3 picks would be Elgin. I think Elgin is set up perfectly, the storyline for Michael Elgin to turn against Roderick Strong, Truth Martini, House of Truth, and resent the House of Truth because Roderick always gets the chances at the world title, and start to feel as though he's being overlooked, and in turn face as a sort of dominant powerhouse face against Roderick Strong, and bang, you've got a feud straight away. Roderick Strong and Michael Elgin. It obviously breaks up the House of Truth, which I think needs to happen, and in doing so, it also will elevate Michael Elgin to the next level, to main event level, without a doubt. A long program with Roderick Strong will do that for anybody. So that's set up. It's right there for him to pull the trigger on a face turn for Michael Elgin, without a doubt. He's somebody I do really like, and I think he's got what it takes to certainly be at the top in Ring of Honor. The second guy is of course Kevin Steen, who you could say is somewhat in the main event as we are now, but I think he's getting getting featured a lot on TV. Obviously, he's got the big angle with Cornette and being the sort of rebel in ROH, but he's not obviously had that main event title match yet, which will come, I'm sure. But yeah, I think he will obviously go on to feud with Davey Richards somewhere down the line, in not too distant future, I would expect. But I'm not just saying that, he is my favourite wrestler anywhere in the world at the moment. Kevin Steen, I think he's absolute genius. But he will be Ring of Honor World Champion, I'm positive of that. I would say by the summer he'll be Ring of Honor World Champion. And the third guy is, when he returns, is El Generico, and of course you've got a feud all set up, ready and waiting to go there with Kevin Steen and El Generico, which obviously doesn't need any build whatsoever. They can just pick up where they've left off for the last 2 years, and that is a ready-made feud that they can pull the trigger on whenever they feel fit. Another one, that a wild card sort of pick would be Jay Lethal. I think obviously he had a cracking match with Davey Richards on TV this past week. Really good match that was. A bit of an anticlimactic finish, but a good match, and I think it proved that he's certainly ready to hang at the top table with Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, Kevin Steen, etc. Cracking natural babyface, somebody fans always get behind. I think it's hard not to have sympathy for him and to get behind him. So that will be my wild card pick. So if you can get them 4 guys into the main event along with your likes of Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, it should make some decent stuff. I mean, I think the future's a lot brighter than, like I say, what it was 6 to 8 months ago, certainly. So just looking at this show, this Sunday, the 10th anniversary show, I know a lot of people are expecting this to be one of the biggest shows in Ring of Honor history, but it's obviously not turned out that way. It's very little build, but there still should be some decent matches on there. Obviously, the main angle going into the show is the tag team match, the main event. I've not been a big fan of this feud at all, if you can call it a feud. It's just a sort of pass-over feud, really. But Eddie Edwards and Kyle O'Reilly are both just terrible on the mic. They can't cut a promo to save their life. It's fucking painful to watch at times. And I don't know, maybe it could have been something decent if the right 2 guys had been involved, 2 guys that can actually make you care and cut a decent promo. But with them not having the ability to get across what they're trying to say, it's almost like they're stumbling across the words, and I don't know. But they've not got me invested in the feud whatsoever, but should be a decent match. I think they'll probably get a lot of time, I would have thought, at the end as the main event, probably 40 minutes plus, but should be a decent match. Kevin Steen, of course, against Jimmy Jacobs. I know a lot of people are, but I've never been a fan of Jimmy Jacobs' work. I just don't find him very believable in the ring. I don't know what it is with him, to be honest, but I just never been that big a fan of his work. But I'll watch, certainly, because Kevin Steen's involved, so there should be some fireworks, definitely. What else is there? I'm just looking at the card now. Jay Lethal should surely lose the TV title in this match against Tommaso Ciampa. I like Ciampa, actually. This is going to sound weird, but it reminds me a lot of... his promo style reminds me a lot of Stone Cold Steve Austin when he was in ECW. He's got that kind of gruff, deep voice and this kind of steely stare that I think I do think he's really good promo. So hopefully going forward he can come on leaps and bounds and inject himself into that main event scene as well. But I'm quite high on Ciampa. I think he's got a decent future, so I expect him to go over, win the TV title, and Jay Lethal to probably be sort of shot to the moon into the main event, to be honest. Not a great deal more to look forward to, I don't think. What the fuck's Homicide on this card for? I'm just seeing that. Homicide versus Mike Bennett, that's going to be fucking trash. Tag title match should be good. Young Bucks are always worth a watch. The matches are always pretty exciting, high flying stuff, and Briscoes are on fire at the moment. I absolutely love their stuff on TV. Jay Briscoe, especially. I mean, I know a lot of people on YouTube have been saying this for probably a couple of years now, but Jay Briscoe is definitely ready to be a main event singles guy. His promo work, his work on the mic is absolutely outstanding in my opinion. I think he's probably in the top 3 or 4 in the company in terms of mic skills and getting across emotion and stuff like that. I think he's gold really on the mic. So obviously it's going to be tough to ever split the Briscoes up. They're an institution in Ring of Honor, but I think if and when they do, that Jay Briscoe will certainly excel as a main eventer, a singles guy. He's got the ring work, he's got the mic work, he's got everything, and I'd expect big things from him in a singles career if it ever came about. But as a tag team, they are red hot at the moment. I think they'll go over, and the feud with World's Greatest Tag Team will carry on at some point down the road. Speaking of which, World's Greatest Tag Team looks like facing All Night Express. Not sure where that match has come about. I guess Rhett Titus is fit and ready to go again. Should be a decent match. If it gets a decent amount of time. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of Charlie Haas really in particular. I was going to say the World's Greatest Tag Team, but I do like Shelton Benjamin. But Charlie Haas just bores me to fucking tears, man. He's both on the mic and in the ring. Really, I'm not saying he's not decent. He's a decent technical wrestler, but it just does nothing that excites me whatsoever. And I think Ring of Honor needs to cut down on these type of guys like Mike Bennett. People that say Mike Bennett's a good alternative in Ring of Honor need to give the fucking head a wobble, in my opinion. He's like an average mid-card WWE guy. He's not what Ring of Honor should be about, or he shouldn't be anywhere near like a company like Ring of Honor. He's just too pedestrian, and when you tune in to Ring of Honor, you want something different from WWE's like lackluster shit, and that's no different from WWE. Is Mike Bennett. I hate him. I think he's bad for the company. He's dire. But yeah, it should be a decent show. I would say I think it's only $10, so I'll be buying the show, and I'll watch it on Monday and probably do a review Monday night. But so yeah, just to recap, I think stick with Ring of Honor. I think the future does look a lot brighter than it was. Like I say, 6 to 8 months ago, it looked pretty dire, and I must admit I stopped watching for 3 or 4 months last year. I just could not be bothered anymore with the whole Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, like Roderick Strong triangle at the top of the company. It was just doing my head in, so I had to get away from it. But I'm a lot more into it now. I think the TV production on Sinclair is a lot better than our HD Net. I think that's a plus. I think Nigel McGuinness is absolute outstanding on commentary. That's one of the high points of the show. He's brilliant on commentary. I'm not sure if he's got any more matches in his tank, but I won't be surprised to see him step in the ring again down the road. So yeah, like I say, I would say the future's pretty bright for Ring of Honor. I'm going to stick with the company anyway for sure. So thanks for listening. See you later.